Well, we first heard about BMA through an ad on CrossPolitic. Our daughter was taking some music lessons, some piano lessons, and then COVID hit and those no longer were happening. So we were looking for something else for her to be able to use her musical abilities on. And we found Bonet Music Academy. At first, I was very skeptical of online music classes. So our older children, we homeschool, and some of our older children do some online classes. So I was familiar with the online setup, but really I did have some hesitations on could this music thing really work online, and what that would look like. But
yeah, I also think the more we got to know Mr. Bonet and his mission that he was beginning with us and our family through Bonet Music Academy, I think we started to see the vision and learning more about the area of Moscow in general and just the culture they're building. I think that put us at ease. And as we got into it with Leah, our oldest, we started seeing how online could certainly work for us.
And also with online classes, you really do, as a parent and as a student, you really do get, and with anything in life, that reaping and sowing principle, but you do get out of it what you put into it. So that's a little, maybe a little something to tweak more as you're working through online lessons. But Mr. Bonet too, it does take, I think, a special teacher, whether it's music or history or math, but to be able to engage with their students from afar using technology. And Mr. Bonet and the other teachers really do know how to draw those students in to have an experience that's positive in online music.
With a good relationship.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's more singing in our home?
Yeah, more singing in our home. I think we've, as a family, we're doing family lessons. It's instilled in us more of a genuine love for music, and just biblically how the Lord instructs us to sing well, boldly, strongly for Him. And so I would say in general it's just encouraged us as a family, as parents, the importance of music and how we need to make that important in our family life.
And the discipline of music, that it's not just, some people are naturally more gifted in that and others have to work on it, but it's a skill that does take developing just like any other skill. And whatever your goals are in music, flexing those muscles that aren't just musical, just the discipline of practicing and trying to get better and being a good steward of your time. Those things I didn't put in the same category as music, but those are things that music has fleshed those things out in our family. So for good ways. Well, one of the first meeting times that we had when we came to visit and we got to meet up with Mr. and Mrs. Bonet, I had mentioned something like that to Rachel. I said, I'm just not musical. I think Leah is really musical, but Blake and we don't know where she got that. And she asked me a question. She said, do you think anybody could learn to shoot and make a free throw? And I thought, yeah, I think so. I think with some practice, you may not always sink it, but I think you can learn the fundamentals to learn to do that more often than not. And she said the same as with music. It's a skill to just keep practicing and working out, and that there are people with different abilities, but as Christians we are called to sing. So that was missing early on. And as far as paying for that, we look at it as an investment, and we can invest in a lot of different things, and education is important, and to not, we grew up in a time where that was just kind of a side a side thing, but that music is now part of our whole the education we're trying to give our children and teaching them to learn to steward that well for God's glory.
And I would add, as first generational Christians, just to piggyback off what Cindy said, if something's worth it, you can budget to make it happen. And so this is certainly worth it. It's a bill I enjoy paying because I do feel my kids are learning to love music, to sing for the Lord, and I feel like they're going to teach my grandchildren, and to that, it inspires me. Yeah, I would say just to the short amount of time we've been doing it, and the advancements we've made, and the learning we've made through it, I feel I hope that that just continues to snowball, and it just creates generational change through music, which causes them to just continue to love the Lord, serve the Lord in all they do, and sing to the Lord in all they do.
Yeah, and just keeping that legacy mindset in mind is something that Blake and I talk about often. We are investing in our children, in their education and their character development. Teaching them to love the Lord, and so then they get to do that, hopefully with their children, and on and on. And so, just reminding our children that this is something to learn to steward, and that we're called to sing and to enjoy it, and it's a great way to learn to, teach our children to use the swords that they've been given and the tools that they've been given to make much of Him and to fight the enemy and to advance the kingdom.
Yeah.